a quiz master turned politician, someone who's always thrown questions at others. This time around, he is in the line of fire. In this edition of HT's weekly talk show, The Interview, we bring you face to face with Derek O'Brien, Member of Parliament and Mamata Banerjee's go-to person in Delhi. Welcome to the show, Mr. O'Brien, and thank you for being with us. You have been a quiz master, so let me begin with a quiz, and I give you three options. Mamata Banerjee's complete rout, TMC's respectable defeat, and after stepping down as CM, Mamata Banerjee working towards opposition unity at the national level.
Quiz questions are not based on intuition. They're not based on fiction. The first requirement to be a quiz question, it has to be factual. And in any case, quizzing finished in my life in 2000, many years ago. I joined Trinamool Congress in 2004. For about 4 or 5 years, I did quizzing along with Trinamool Congress, but for the last decade or so, I'm off quizzing. So quizzing is another part of my life.
Okay, I take your point and I concede I'm not into quizzing. So obviously the questions, as you said, the options were not factual. So let me come to...
And I'm not surprised with options like this. Not at all. I'm not at all surprised with options like this. I find these amusing. Anybody on the ground in Bengal will only ask you this question. Mamata Di is winning. Will it be a big win or will it be a not so big win? Or will it be a close match? These are the only three questions. Make no mistake. The BJP have no chance of winning Bengal. Mamata Banerjee is winning Bengal. And let me tell you one thing. Amit Shah said he'll get 200 seats. I'm saying this on record. He'll be closer to 100 seats. First, let him get to 100. Then we will talk 200. And then I'm not talking big now because there's no use to talk big. I never like to talk big.
How serious is the challenge from the BJP to the TMC?
Of course, it's a serious challenge. They're the world's most destructive political force. They're the world's most corrupt political party. They are the party which are run by two people who put the winning an election is a priority to them, and public health is not a priority. Lose a few thousand lives here and there is not a priority. Who announced the lockdown in 4 hours notice? It was a surprise master stroke announcement. Isn't this the same gentleman who also announced demonetization on the 8th of November 2016, which was a monumental economic disaster?
Everyone criticized the lockdown. But today, when Modi is saying no lockdown, the chief ministers, whether it's Kejriwal or Uddhav Thackeray or some of the states, they are imposing a curfew and a lockdown.
Who is in charge of this country? Not Rahul Gandhi, not Mamata Banerjee, not Uddhav Thackeray, not Arvind Kejriwal, or not anybody else. Who announced a lockdown on a television address? 4 hours notice, 21-day lockdown. So they have a very simple formula. When you want to take the credit, then you take the credit. When you want to pass it on, you pass it to the states. Kumkumji, you can't be choosing what you want whenever you want. What did he say in his address to the nation? What did he say? Summary of what he said is that, listen, I screwed up the lockdown, I messed it up, and now you guys do what you can. You're on your own. Good luck. Even in the BJP, you come to Central Hall very often. You know, we hang around and we have coffee there sometimes when there's a break. Even nobody in the BJP is willing to put up the hand and say, Modi ji, Shah ji, aapne jo announce kiya na, wo November 8, 2016, wo galat tha. Who can say this in BJP? Nobody. So this is Modi, Shah, they call it, they want to bring a double engine to Bengal. Double engine. Arey Baba, we don't want your double engine. We want the made in Bengal engine.
My point was different. My point was that when Modi imposed the national lockdown, he was criticized. Today, the chief ministers are imposing lockdowns or curfews in their respective states. So what I'm saying is, obviously, what was important then is important now. So what Modi was criticized for is what the chief ministers are doing today. That's
Who
my
did he
point, and
discuss?
that's where I want
What
to
did
land.
what did Modi and Shah do for vaccination? There was a trough. There was a peak in September, and after that there was a trough. What did Modi and Shah do for vaccination, planning of vaccination?
No,
I
coming
said
back
this.
to my question of the lockdown, what Modi did last year is what the states are doing this year.
Modi did it last year. Who did he consult? Are you defending? Let me ask
I'm
you a
not-
question very humbly.
I'm not,
Are
I'm
you
asking-
are you defending Modi ji's lockdown of with 4 hours notice? 4 hours notice,
no.
21
No,
day
I'm
lockdown.
not defending.
Are you
I'm
defending
saying
how the railways were handled? Are you defending how the railways were handled? Are you
my question
defending?
is different. My question is what he did last year is exact, and what he was criticized for, and I'm not defending, I'm asking, is what the state governments are doing now. So what's the difference?
There is a big difference. Firstly, there is a very big difference between last year and this year. Now he's left it to the people. He's left it to the states. Listen, you have to. Firstly, it's disappointing because Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah and I ask myself this question, Kumkumji, is that these are the people who are children of federalism. One has been a chief minister, one has been a home minister. Their track record of 2002 with blood on their hands is another story, not for today. But they are the products of the federal system. So I don't know what is it in the air of Delhi. When they breathe the air of Delhi, they become an autocratic democracy. Why
So my
didn't you give me?
question is still
Yeah.
where it is.
No, your question is not where it is. Your question is Modi made a mistake in 2020. Now that he's made another mistake, now that he's trying to cover up his mistake, now that he's covering up his mistake, now what should the chief ministers do? Why? I'll ask you a question. What is the mistake? Why have you made a dual pricing? You say one nation, one vote, one party, one this, one that. Excuse me. Why is there double? Why should my state have to pay more than when the center buys the vaccine? Why? Two things about BJP, Kumkumji. One is they're a hugely corrupt party. They are very corrupt. They're the most corrupt party in the world. And number two, I can give you along with facts. They are the world's most dynastic party.
Let me bring you back on track. Prashant Kishore said in one of the interviews that BJP has become a very powerful force.
If the head of an agency has said something, he's a political strategist. He must have had good reason to say it. And I also agree. If someone is fighting the BJP and if they say, no, it's not a difficult fight. Kumkumji, of course it is a difficult fight. They've got 4-5 solid allies. Does any party have these kind of allies? Look at the allies they have.
So how tough has it been for the TMC? And how tough is it for the TMC?
Because they've got such reliable allies. So obviously our job is difficult. Any job like this has to be difficult. That's not the headline of this interview, that we are fighting a tough battle because they've got the CBI, they've got the ED as an ally. Baki to Shiv Sena is no more an ally. So Shiromani bhi chala gaya. So CBI is one ally, Akali Dal is an ally, was an ally, gone away. They've got all these agencies who are allies. Okay, and I hate to say this, but I have to say it after 5 phases. The Election Commission is an undeclared ally.
We'll come to that.
Yeah, so we've got that. So we are fighting against that. We're fighting against a long campaign for over 2 months. For that, Kumkumji, you need more money. You need more funding. They've outfunded us.
You know, your views on the Election Commission are very well known. You've articulated them before. So I will not get into that, but ask you a simple question. Who do you think is writing the script there?
Modi and Shah. Modi and Shah write the script in Parliament. Arun Jaitley ji, and completely ideologically, totally 180 degrees away from, means completely different from my views on ideology. But the man respected the sanctity of this institution called Parliament. What happened in the Farmers' Bill is unhealthy for any democracy. You can't be passing bills like this. There is a system. And what do you do now? You say, oh, I've come here. I heard Amit Shah in an interview that day saying we have put the bills on pause or something like that for 2 years. Who the hell are you?
On hold.
On hold. Who the hell are you to put those two bills on pause? You bring another bill to Parliament to repeal those bills. That's the way it's done. But I can't do a free tutorial for Amit Shah and Modi, whose only focus in life is to spread devious messaging and run a very good event management company for elections. That they do well.
Mamata Banerjee has done a lot of development work, roads, healthcare, schemes for women. But the perception is Didi is good, but the people around her are corrupt. It's similar to what people said about Rajiv Gandhi. Good man, gentleman, but surrounded by corrupt people. And ultimately, Rajiv Gandhi lost the election. What do you think would be Mamata's fate? And how would this affect her adversely? Dinesh Trivedi is on record to state that people from my constituency call and say, even if we want to construct a house, we cannot do it without the TMC local leadership asking for money.
Yeah. I think the BJP, if you've seen a movie called The Social Network, they have a great system in place.
This is about the TMC.
Yeah, I'm talking about the TMC because I'm talking about spreading a negative perception. I'm talking about spreading a negative perception, and I'm going to quote Amit Shah so you'll understand, which will give you your answer. He said this, Amit Shah ji, that, and I've got the recording, I've put up this video many times, that my Hindi is very bad, but I'm trying. 50 lakh WhatsApp group hai. वहां सच के झूठ कर सकता है और झूठ के सच. We can turn truth into fiction and fiction into it. And he also gave a fabulous story. You've seen that video. He says, we also put out a video saying somebody had slapped Akhilesh Yadav had slapped his father. But that was not true. But we managed to pass that on. This is the game the BJP plays. They try and create these negative perceptions. Are we the perfect
party? What about the ground reality?
Are we the perfect political party? Of course we are not. Are we the party who says that we've done everything? Everything is done. Now you do it? No, we have the humility. We have the humility to say we are not perfect. That's why 8 months before the elections, we had a separate, the world's largest door-to-door initiative, which we call Duare Sarkar, said that, listen, we're not perfect. We can still do better. So we'll now come to your doorstep. And if you haven't got something, we'll deliver it in 6 months.
So do you concede that corruption at the lower level, at the level of the local leadership exists and perhaps rampant?
It is not rampant. It is not rampant. If you want to put it in a phrase, I can say if Trinamool Congress has retail corruption, you shouldn't have any corruption at all. But down the line, if there's retail corruption, BJP has wholesale corruption, wholesale, in a very stylish manner.
Two wrongs don't make a right, and just because the BJP is corrupt, if as you say, doesn't justify.
I think you're absolutely right.
Being corrupt. I mean,
it's very nice. You see, the BJP is very interesting. All these Trinamool leaders, you're saying Trinamool is corrupt and this and that. How come then these Trinamool leaders who were caught on tape, some of them, how come? I'm not going to use their names to give them some free publicity. How come when they go into how come when 4, 5, 6 of them go to BJP, then they go into the washing machine and then they all cleansed and then they come out clean? So the cases, all these cases, it's a list of political vendetta cases which happen. But once you go to the BJP, then all is clean. The candidate from Nandigram, who was seen on video, on a BJP site video, I don't know whether they've taking money wrapped in a towel. Now he's in BJP. He's absolutely clean, squeaky clean. You'll want to come and campaign for him. Now he's okay. So I can give you so many examples. But
Derek, we are again going back to BJP. I'm talking more about TMC and the ground reality.
What is the ground reality?
Ground reality, Didi is clean. The local leadership there is busy minting money. And I quoted Dinesh Trivedi, where I said...
Who you've quoted, listen, which traitor you've quoted, not traitor. I'm not going to talk about individuals, especially those who are traitors. My view on life is very different. My parents I have my faults, But one of my mottos in life, which my parents taught me, is great people talk about ideas. Great people talk about ideas. Average people, good people talk about events. Small people talk about other people. So I'm not going there. I'll never go there. You met me often enough to know that I don't go there. But I think this is not the time for big talk. This is the time to reflect. This is not about Trinamool Congress winning this election, Kumkumji. This is not about Mamta Banerjee winning this election. This is not about a party winning Bengal. No. I really believe we need to win this election, not just for ourselves, not just for our party, not just for our state, but I deeply believe we need to win this for the Constitution. We need to win this for India, because these are the issues which are at stake today.
I was just coming to that this is not about only West Bengal. And there is a perception and a feeling, and I think rightly so, that this election will decide the course of democracy in this country.
You've said it, because you've said it. I don't want to, sometimes you have to listen. And I just want that's what you've just told me. I need to sit down quietly without saying anything and let that sink in. And let that sink in to what you have just said. You have said...
Derek, that's very clever. You not saying anything and not getting the last word is something which is unheard of. So I think
I'm listening to what you just... Kumkumji, I honestly tell you, I completely agree with what you've said. And I'm just letting that sink in. Because today, this is what a Trinamool Congress person would say, or a relative of mine would say, or a well-wisher would say. But coming from you, yes, we are aware of it. Sometimes I wonder, Kumkumji, the mind space, the resources which have been given to COVID containment, the resources and the mind space they've given to vaccine management. If they're given half that mind space to what they've given for an election in a single state, I really believe India would have been overcoming this COVID crisis. I believe this. And I hope, and I just hope and pray that once this election is done on, the results have come on May the 2nd, then Mr. Shah and Mr. Modi would reflect. They've thrown the kitchen sink at us. I really hope and pray that after May the 2nd, when the results are out, and this only woman chief minister of India, because everyone thinks, she's doing this, and you need mental space, you need minds to fight this, but there's something else also. There's another aspect, Kumkumji, you'll appreciate it, I think more, is there's also a physical aspect to this campaign. I mean physical endurance in the heat on a wheelchair. 3 campaigns a day she's doing.
You spoke about some of those who deserted the Trinamool Congress as traitors. But they are senior people like Dinesh Trivedi and some of the others who were there since the inception of TMC. When, if you may say, if you will allow me to say that, you were not even there. So to dismiss what they are saying as rubbish or being traitors, I think is missing the point.
Now, just because somebody has been there from the founder or at the beginning, when Mamta Banerjee has, you are either a traitor, your actions and your actions make you a traitor. Long service is not a condition to be a traitor or not. When you take a knife and you stab somebody in the back, you take a knife and you stab somebody in the back, you are a traitor.
The point I was making was, whatever they have said, they're senior people who've been with the TMC. And whatever they have said should be taken into account rather than being dismissive about it simply because they are saying it. That was my point.
I'm not at all being dismissive about anything. Now, one gentleman who was a minister for 9.5 years in the Mamta Banerjee government, 6 months before the election, he suddenly thinks everything is wrong with the Mamta Banerjee government. and he decides to leave. Okay. The same gentleman says, he says it, I didn't say it. He said has been in touch with Amit Shah since 2014. He said it, right? So these two things, who's the traitor?
Let me put it differently. What about the people surrounding her being branded as corrupt and corruption going on at the lower level? While again, as I said, Didi is clean, as most people say, but jo log hai, the people around her. What about that perception? My question was not about what they are saying.
I think, Kumkumji, honest answer, one sentence to that. That's an argument which has been put forth by it's part of the BJP's campaign strategy in Bengal. I've waited for so long. We might as well wait till May the 2nd. Okay. Because we'll wait till May the 2nd for people to answer this question, because this is a charge.
Why did Mamata Banerjee turn a blind eye to allegations of corruption, cut money, parallel power center, and diversion of funds for relief?
Not at all. Not at all. As I said, if there's overall corruption in the polity of India, BJP is the world's most corrupted. They're the most wholesale corruption political party. Are we the perfect political party? No. Did some of these people not get tickets? They did not. The rest of them ran away to the BJP. And I like the term you use, the parallel power center. Say it, Abhishek Banerjee. So that's the part. I mean, I
was going to say.
Yeah, so I've got nothing to hide, nor does Abhishek Banerjee have. Abhishek Banerjee, the first time he fought a Lok Sabha election was in 2014. He didn't get South Calcutta, the lollipop seat. He was given a tough seat, Diamond Harbour. He won that election by 70,000 votes, 2014. Perhaps he got the ticket. Perhaps he got the ticket because he was a youth leader, but obviously he was Mamata Banerjee's nephew. What happened in 2019? He didn't win that seat by 70,000 votes. He won it by 330,000 votes. Now, elections are coming, results are coming on 2nd of May. There are 7 parliamentary assembly segments in his Diamond Harbour constituency. Here's an open challenge. Let BJP try and win one of the 7. Why? Because here is a young MP who's working in his constituency. Now BJP have to have a narrative. That's why I promote the film almost like an agent, The Social Network. Watch the film, you will know. So they create a narrative about corruption. They create a narrative about nephew. They create these narratives, which are false narratives. But the people, I think, are sharp because they know only one narrative. What's the narrative? This lady has delivered lots in the last 10 years. And Modi and Shah, who brought demonetization, no vaccination and everything else, have not delivered as they have promised in the last 7 years. That's this Bengal election for you.
There is a perception that the left may also go along with the BJP because of their intense dislike for Mamata Banerjee. Aage Ram, Pore Bam is what is doing the rounds. What would you say to that?
But this observation you've made, this is a correct observation. This is absolutely, there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of, and it's not even a secret anymore.
So is it making it tougher for the TMC?
This is the reality of the election. So it's Trinamool in Bengal, it's Mamata Banerjee versus Bengal versus the rest. That's the situation. So it is happening on the ground. There's no doubt about it. It's happening. But I really do think people are very, very clever. We can't underestimate people. You know, just because some uncle will come and say we'll win 200 seats and then everything. No. That's all. People are very, very clever. They know how to vote. They will do what they think is best for their state.
Why didn't Mamata Banerjee do something to check the exodus in the party? And don't these desertions really reflect badly on the TMC?
Kumkumji, nobody likes, you don't like a friend to leave. You don't like a family member to fight with. You don't like a colleague to fight with. These are about natural. These are different little, organizations, if I may use that term. So nobody is like celebrating when people leave.
Why didn't Mamata Banerjee do something to stop the exodus?
3 weeks ago, she said this on a stage show, and it was a very kind of putting a mirror at looking at herself. She said, you know, so many people told me that they were in touch with this one, they were in touch with that one, this one was in touch, this one was going to parliament, and Maskachas going in his speeches, all the BJP ministers, and wouldn't attack Modi and Shah. But Didi would always say, "Na, theek hai." She's a person who's built like that. She has somewhere she's a touch and feel, emotional lady, and so she says, "Nana, theek hai, theek." Now she is learned. Now when the knives have come out, then you've learned. And I just wish that now again, you watch after 6 months, 9 months, again some of these people will come back, and then Didi will call us and say, "Theek hai, le lo, inko le lo." This is Mamta Di for you. This is the way she is.
You've been praising Abhishek Banerjee, and I know you're going to kill me, but I will still ask this question. Abhishek Banerjee did to you what you did to Dinesh Trivedi. You pushed him out and took center stage. Abhishek has done just that. Sidelined you and become Mamta's go-to person.
Listen, a political party is not a contest. We are a team. I'll be very honest with you and tell you, we want young people to grow, to lead this, not only Abhishek Banerjee from Trinamool, maybe Aditya Thackeray from Shiv Sena, Tejasvi Yadav. Listen, these are the young people in their 30s and 40s. Shouldn't they be the boys and girls who are growing? Shouldn't we be sharing our experience and our insights with them? They're such sharp young men and young women. It's not a contest, for heaven's sake. It's beautiful. It's a celebration.
How do you foresee the future of Bengal politics? Because one view is, irrespective of whether BJP wins or loses, it's going to use it as a playfield and convert it into a trouble factory.
Once the people of Bengal speak, and then the people of Bengal the message on May the 2nd will be, Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah, you have done everything you can. You've tweaked the rules, you've used your ED, CBI, you've done all the meetings, you've used all the money, but here, this is the result. We want Mamta Banerjee for the next 5 years on your bike, and off you go.
The importance of West Bengal elections is evident because Prime Minister Modi went to Bangladesh and visited the Matua temple there. What would you say about his using diplomacy as an election tool?
That people are very clever. They all know what he did, where he went, how was the timing, was it a coincidence? Did he just go there out of love? Did he go there to make a point? Did he go there to campaign?
How would you assess Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's role in the West Bengal elections? Because Mamta Banerjee is a stumbling block as far as Teesta water sharing is concerned. So how would you assess that role?
Nothing to say beyond the borders. That is it. Nothing to say beyond the borders of Bengal. Nothing to say beyond the borders. If someone after that wants to go and tour, no need to get into that. Now, what's good for Bengal for the next 5 years? Mamta Di has done this for the last 10 years. Modi and Shah have promised this and done nothing. What is Bengal ready to accept? Our belief is that A, we are winning Bengal. B, Mamta Banerjee will be the chief minister for the 3rd year in a row. And 3, the turncoats who enjoyed all the cream in government for 9.5 years and left 3 months before the election, all of them will lose.
Mamta Banerjee's policy of Muslim appeasement is going against her. And now she's changing tack and reciting the Chandi Path, going to temples, and also raising the Hare Ram slogan. Isn't it too little, too late?
10 crore people in Bengal get a health card, the blue health card. Nobody looks at which religion they belong to. 70 lakh girls are in Kanyashri. Nobody looked at who they were. 70 lakh, Kanyashri program. Sabur Shati, the cycles. Everyone, boys and girls, were given. This is about people appeasement. These schemes, when a house is built, or your child gets a cycle to go to school, or you get a card. And by the way, if you want appeasement, Maybe there is a little bit of women appeasement, and I'll tell you why. Because that card, the health card, is not made in the name of the man. It's made in the name of the woman of the family. These are the things. So if these are programs, these are actual. These are not may happen, will happen. These are actual programs on the ground. A lot of good work has happened on the ground. People have benefited. Have all people benefited? No. Has there been some leakage in the delivery? Perhaps yes. Let's be real. Let's not say hum sab kiya, I'll come and do a teleprompter. No. Let us have the humility. Let us have the humility to say, hey, listen, we've done a lot. Our intentions are good. We've delivered on the ground, and we don't know it all.
Derek O'Brien, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.